Yo, what up, everybody, man? It's your boy Conscious Knowledge, man. You're rocking with KKTV, man, the only place to be. And I want to thank all my loyal subscribers first and foremost. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for that. If you're not yet a subscriber, man, go ahead and click that notification bell along with the subscribe link. Hit that notification bell, man, so you don't miss another one of my uploads. And everything I'm going to say is going to be educational purposes only. I am not a licensed attorney. I am not a bar member, nor will I ever be. So everything is pretty much my opinion, and it's all facts, but we're going to say it's my opinion and all alleged. So let's jump right into it, man. There's been a lot of questions coming to me, emails and stuff coming to me about the purpose of authenticating the birth certificate and how to do so. And we're just going to talk about it and jump right into it, man. Hopefully that this video, answers all your questions and helps you. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Feel free to email me at consciousknowledgetv@gmail.com. That's consciousknowledgetv@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. So let's just jump right into it, man. What is Minnesota Rule 220? Minnesota Rule 220 is basically a brief indication that there has to be some form of authenticated certificate of title. Now, if they blatantly said or blatantly labeled the certificate of live birth as the certificate of title, they would have raised eyebrows, right? All right. So to keep the big conspiracy going, they labeled it the certificate of live birth, which you'll learn about the affidavit of life as well. I'm not going to talk about that today, but you will see the difference. Just keep following me. I'll upload that content somewhere in the near future. Now, the birth certificate you want is what's known as the long form in some states. Other states is known as the actual certificate of live birth. Now, you may have to go to the actual vital statistics office to get it if the health department does not have it, or if they act like, they don't know what's going on, if they act clueless. Now, in some cases, you may even have to go through a court system to actually get your certificate of live birth in some states, some cases. Now, if you notice, the certificate of live birth has your name in upper lowercase, the way it's supposed to be, the way your mother, spelled your name. She spelled it capital letter and then the rest lowercase and so forth, right? All right. And needless to say, we don't have a middle name. We don't have a last name. Your first and middle name is your full name. And your last name, so to speak, is your family you come from. So you may have seen something that says Jane Doe of the family such and such, right? All right, maybe you haven't, But if you ever do, you'll know what that means. Now, just like the United States of America should be in upper lowercase lettering, anytime it's spelled in any different variations, is referring to the commercial corporate United States via 28 U.S.C. You can find the definition of United States being a federal corporation. Now, it should be spelled with the being all lowercase, United being all lowercase, States being capital S, T-A-T-E-S, lowercase of, upper lowercase America. Any other way is referring to the corporation because we live in America. We don't live in some falsified corporate state. We're not wards of the state like they try to make you out to be. Now, you have an entity that may be a ward of the state, but it's not you. You are not the name in all caps. You're just not. All right, so now the certificate of live birth or long form that you need is indicated by having all details, such as the day it was received by the local state registrar. And the older ones would have the name in upper lowercase, while new ones, like my son's birth certificate or certificate of live birth, is in all caps, but it's still the same thing. There's no difference. They still serve the same purpose. Maybe they're trying to throw people off. I don't know. It still is the same thing. Now, keep in mind that they may try and tell you that the certificate of live birth is the same thing as the birth certificate, and that's just a false statement. They are indeed two separate forms which have different purposes. One controls the other. In other words, as and it's a good thing to have multiple copies of the, for any future or present court issues that you may have, because you may need to present that. Well, you will need to present that within your pleadings. Okay, so to let them know that, hey, I am who I am. I'm not this entity. Da da da. All right, so if you have to go through vital statistics, it'll cost you a bit more, but it's all going to be worth it. So now, once you get the certificate of live birth, you'll need to go. You need to go to or mail into the full service Secretary of State, because they'll usually have a vital statistics section there, or an index section. So not all Secretary of States are full service. That's why I broke that down and let you know. If you ask for the index department and they don't have one, well, that's when you know that that's not a full service Secretary of State. So now, once you locate the full service and Secretary of State and index department, you'll go there and you'll tell them that you want to authenticate the certificate of live birth or birth certificate. Just use the lingo, excuse me, y'all. Just use the lingo that they know. Whatever they used to, whatever they recognize, use that lingo. We know what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you never want to reveal your hand. You know what I'm saying? You never want to go to the slave master and let him know, hey man, I'm trying to free myself, or that just wouldn't make a lot of sense. You would have to, when you're doing these things, you don't want your left to know what your right is doing. In other words, the old saying. So don't go to these places talking about, UCC laws, sovereignty, Moorish this and Moorish that, straw man, etc. First of all, that's another thing. Y'all got to get out of this Patriots mindset. You know what I'm saying? When you do need to speak up such terminology, you know what I'm saying, in such language, you want to speak their language. Like a straw man is actually, in law terminology, is what they call it ens leges. Hence the word legislative law, legislative law. You know what I'm saying? The devil is the master of wordplay. So he's going to make it, these people make it sound like it's something else when it's really not. Just like the word person means a corporation. I mean, look these things up. Look up these words. What do they mean in law? You see what I'm saying? Like I said, ens leges, or the legislative law, is what governs the ens leges, or their corporate citizens, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? So then you're going to ask for the document to be authenticated once you're there at the office. They'll give you, you'll give that to them, your certificate of live birth, and they'll give you this form for authentication, which personally I mailed in a letter that I just basically wrote on a piece of paper. I didn't use the applications. I wrote on a piece of paper. We got to get out of using their applications and stuff like that, because we don't know if there's adhesion contracts behind these forms and stuff like that. We just don't know. So it's best to use your own and let them know that this serves as such and such form. They have to accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because these are your contracts, and you create your own contracts. So, like I said, I mailed mine off, and I wrote on there, please authenticate this certificate of live birth for Taiwan. Please do so in honor. And when I got it back a week or two later, it had the receipt, and it said, authenticated for Taiwan and da-da-da-da-da. Let me know how much I was paying and so forth. So at the Secretary of State, you know what I'm saying, they're going to ask for your personal information you already know, Social Security or whatever else they're going to ask you for. So when they ask for this is very important, y'all. When they ask for the country of origin, you want to say something, you want to put Taiwan, like I do and a lot of other people do, or you can choose Egypt or any other non-Hague Convention country. You can look up the Hague Convention the Hague Convention, and learning what it's about. But in a nutshell, the Hague Convention is basically like, it says something about, I didn't read it all, I read enough, and it says something about to keep other countries from abducting a child. So understand that the birth certificate and the estate and everything, the Social Security estate, trust and everything, is what they call a child account. So they're not talking about, babies get kidnapped every day. If the Hague Convention was about that, we wouldn't get people kidnapped. You see what I'm saying? And sacrificed and all this other stuff, allegedly. So, keep that in mind. You know what I mean? uh, like I say, it says something about keeping them from abducting another one. So basically, someone over in another country can't claim you as their citizen because they're already citizen of the United States corporation. See what I'm saying? Because if you're in their books as a corporate entity, you don't know any better. They just gonna, let you go through with it. They ain't gonna tell you. You see what I'm saying? So you have to do your own research. Just like everything, including his birth certificate, certificate of live birth, everything. You want this stuff from the trust, but I'm gonna talk about that in another video. I'm gonna stick to the script on this one, and I'm gonna make it pretty short. I'm gonna try to shorten it on up. But like I said, just keep that in mind when they ask for the origin. You know what I'm saying? The country or origin. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and read this general rules of practice, Minnesota Rule 220, and I'm gonna break that down a little bit more than what I just did. So the Rule 220 is about birth certificates, and it states the registrar of titles is authorized to receive for registration of memorials upon any outstanding certificate of title and official birth certificate pertaining to a registered owner. Now, when you look at your certificate of live birth, you'll see the date that it was received by the state registrar. This is why you need the certificate of live birth or the long form versus a birth certificate. Because the birth certificate was created by the state a week or two out or so, out a couple of days, whatever, after you were born. You can also find that date on the certificate of live birth. The date that it was received by the state registrar was the exact date that they created the bonds and stuff like that in your name. This is what we're fighting against and taking back what is ours. Okay, so it goes on to say, I'm going to start over. The registrar of title is authorized to receive for registration of memorials upon any outstanding certificate of title and official birth certificate pertaining to a registered owner named in said certificate, showing the date of birth of said registered owner, providing there is attached to said birth certificate an affidavit of an affiant who states that he or she is familiar with the facts recited. Anytime you see those familiar with the facts or something like that, or an acknowledgement, that is an affidavit. That's how you know what when you're reading an affidavit. All right, so stating that the party named is in said birth certificate is the same party as one of the owners named in said certificate of title, which is the certificate of live birth. And that thereafter the registrar of titles shall treat said registered owner as having attained the age of the majority at the date 18 years after the date of birth shown by said certificate. Now, when they said that you've reached the age of maturity, what they meant is your bond has reached its maturity date because bonds mature. You see what I'm saying? Every bond has a maturity date on it. It could be 3 days, it could be, 20 years, so forth. I think the first one was 18, the other one was 21. That's when you could start drinking liquor and stuff like that. And then the last one was like 25 and 30. 25 and or 30. So this is the reason you want to authenticate your birth certificate, because you are taking back ownership of what is already yours. You're a straw man, so to speak. Your ens legis. You're taking over this trust estate. You're going to collapse the trust, the Social Security, the public trust, and you're going to put those credits and bonds and everything into your own private trust. And we'll speak on that more. But I just want to leave y'all with a little bit of enlightenment. So go ahead and smash that like button, drop your comments, man. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another one of my uploads. Share the video. One share is all it takes, you know what I'm saying, to grow. Like I said, man, I'm about teaching people. I'm about showing people that there's another way than just selling twerk and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, y'all got to get it together. Y'all got to get with the program, man, because there's credits and bonds and stuff like that that's in your name, and you'll never get it if you don't, stand up and fight for it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, y'all have any questions, man, feel free to hit me up in the comments section. And again, smash that like button, smash that like button, man. It's free. You know what I mean? So, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. I'm going to put together another video as far as how to authenticate the birth certificate. I got into that a little bit here, but I'm going to go ahead and break that down in another video specifically about how to authenticate the birth certificate. All right, y'all, man. It's been nice. Catch y'all in the next one.